Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So I did this. I did the unit test. Got a funny number on it. I'm not gonna redo everything. I already did that. So let's do the next thing. Fractions, decimals, percentages. This one. Okay, yes. Let's go. Adding and subtracting decimals. Okay. I'm gonna speed run this because I want to get back to gadgeting. I already made video today, and then he said like, do it again. Well, I'm gonna post this tomorrow if I can. Jessica takes a horse. A horse? Jessica takes a horse 3.31 kilometers and a motorcycle 1 kilometer. Why? Well, that's not the question. No! I wrote it wrong, I mistyped it. I'm gonna redo this whole thing. It's not even that hard. Hooray, you got 0. Congratulations. Let's do this. What? Right. Just go back in for a new question. Never mind. Adrian and Chang. I need a paper. I can do this legit. I just need somewhere to solve it. Oh wait, I have a notepad.
Hey,
What?
can I borrow your headphones?
Yeah, totally.
Or
My arm's got a little. I unplugged them. Did I unplug? What? Okay. Okay, it's easier to do on the. Okay, so. This. I should be starting on this side. That's why I want to do it on paper. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And 5. 57, 37. $51, 4, so 55, 54. So now it's 55, 54, and 57. Okay, so 11, 5, 8, 9, 7, 12, 10, 11, 112, 91. Right. Oh, so the height didn't matter. Heck. Get rid of this. Let's use the compilation of me being dumb. Ooh, 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 oh, that was crazy. $385, $332. Add 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 7, 17. Jack speedometer. Two, 7, 8, 3. Seven, 8, 9, 10. 7, 8, 9. 5. 5907. Wheel. Next. Oh. Which are the followings? Okay then.
Let's give ourselves a little bit of practice with percentages. So let's ask ourselves what percent of, I don't know, let's say what percent of 16 is 4? And I encourage you to pause this video and to try it out yourself.
25%. But I don't know
So
how
when you're
to find the
saying what
percent.
percent of
But
16
I know it's
is 4,
25%.
percent is another way of saying what fraction of 16 is 4, and we just need to write it as a percent, as per 100. So if you said what fraction of 4 is, or what fraction of 16 is 4, you would say, well, look, this is the same thing as 4/16, which is the same thing as this is the same thing as 1/4. But this is saying what fraction 4 is of 16. You'd say, well, 4 is 1/4 of 16. But this still doesn't answer our question. What percent? What percent? So in order to write this as a percent, we literally have to write it as something over 100. Percent literally means per cent. So the word cent, you know from cents and century. It relates to the number 100. So it's per 100. So you could say, well, this is going to be equal to question mark over 100, the part of 100. And there's a bunch of ways that you could think about this. You could say, well, look, if in the denominator to go from 4 to 100, I have to multiply by 25. In the numerator, to go from, I need to also multiply by 25 in order to have an equivalent fraction. So I'm also going to multiply by 25. So 1/4 is the same thing as 25 over 100. And another way of saying 25 over 100 is this is 25 per 100, or 25%. So this is equal to 25%. Now there's a couple of other ways you could have thought about it. You could have said, well, 4 over 16, this is literally 4 divided by 16. Let me just do the division and convert to a decimal, which is very easy to convert to a percentage. So let's try to actually do this division right over here. So we're going to literally divide 4 by 16. Now 16 goes into 4 0 times. 0 times 16 is 0. You subtract and you get a 4. And we're not satisfied just having this remainder. We want to keep adding zeros to figure out what to get a decimal answer right over here. So let's put a decimal right over here. We're going into the tenths place. And let's throw some zeros right over here. The decimal, make sure we keep track of the fact that we are now in the tenths and in the hundredths and in the thousandths place if we have to go that far. But let's bring another 0 down. 16 goes into 40, goes into 42 times. 2 times 16 is 32. You subtract, you get 8, and you can bring down another 0. And we have 16 goes into 80. Let's see, 16 goes into 80 5 times. 5 times 16 is 80. You subtract, you have no remainder, and you're done. 4 16ths is the same thing as 0.25. Now, 0.25 is the same thing as 25 hundredths, or this is the same thing as 25 over 100, which is the same thing as 25%. Let's see if we can figure out what 30% of 6 is. So one way of thinking about 30%, this literally means 30 per 100. So you could view this as 30 over 100 times 6 is the same thing as 30% of 6. Or you could view this as 30 hundredths times 6. So 0.30 times 6. And we could solve both of these and you'll see that we'll get the same answer. If you do this multiplication right over here, 30 over 100, and you could view this times 6 over 1, this is equal to 180 over 100. And let's see, we can simplify. We can divide the numerator and the denominator by 10, and then we can divide the numerator and the denominator by 2, and we will get 9/5, which is the same thing as 1 4/5. And then if we wanted to write this as a decimal, 4/5 is 0.8. And if you want to verify that, you could verify that 5 goes into 4, and it's going to be a decimal, so let's throw some decimals in there. It goes into 4 0 times, we don't have to worry about that. It goes into 40 8 times. 8 times 5 is 40. Subtract, you have no remainder, and you just have zeros left here. So 4/5 is 0.8, you got the 1 there. This is the same thing as 1.8, which you would have gotten if you divided 5 into 9. You would have gotten 1.8. So 30% of 6 is equal to 1.8. And we can verify it doing this way as well. So if we were to multiply 0.30 times 6, let's do that. 0. And I could just write that literally as 0.3 times 6 times 6. Well, 3 times 6 is 18. I have only one digit behind the decimal amongst both of these numbers that I'm multiplying. I only have the 3 to the right of the decimal, so I'm only going to have one number to the right of the decimal here. So I'll just count one number. It's going to 100 is what percent of 80? And these problems tend to kill people because on some level they're kind of simple. There's just 100 and an 80 there. They're asking what percent, but then people get confused. They say, do I divide the 100 by the 80 by 100, or is it something else going on? And you really just have to think through what the language is saying. They're saying that this value right here, this 100, is some percentage of 80. And that some percentage is what we have to figure out. That what percent? So if we multiply 80 by this what percent, we will get 100. So let's view it this way. We have 80. We have 80. If we multiply it by something, let's call this something x. If we multiply, I'll do that in a different color. If we multiply 80 by something, we're going to get 100. And we need to figure out what we need to multiply 80 by to get 100. And if we just solve this equation as it is, we're going to get a value for x, and what we need to do is then convert it to a percent. Another way you could view this is 100 is what you get when you multiply what by 80. And then you would have gotten this number, and then you could convert it to a percent. So this is essentially the equation, and now we can solve it. If we divide both sides of this equation by 80, so you divide the left-hand side by 80, the right-hand side by 80, you get x. X is equal to 100 over 80. You could divide, well, they both share a common factor of 20. So 100 divided by 20 is 5, and 80 divided by 20 is 4. So in simplest form, x is equal to 5/4, but I've only expressed it as a fraction. But they want to know what percent of 80. If they
I don't understand this thing. No.
You should like see the game. Also, I'm recording. Feel like you already knew that. 80% of 20. Yeah, I'm just gonna end it there. I've finished decimals and percentages. Bye.